grading Blink-182 like I'm a hot teacher. Now, Blink-182 are my 14th favorite band. I'm not going to tell you what my number one favorite band is. No guessing in the comments, please. We're going to be ranking all the Blink-182 albums. We're going to be giving them a grade score like we're a hot teacher. And we're just going to jump right in. So Blink-182 have 9 or 10 albums. I am going to be including Buddha here. I don't have a CD copy of it, but that's fine. I've got most of the Blink-182 albums on compact disc, and I don't think I have any Blink vinyl. I gotta work on that. I'm a flawed human being. We're going to do worst to best. We're going to be giving them a letter grade like a hot teacher would. And coming in at number 10, the worst Blink-182 album is going to be Buddha from 1994. Mark counts this as an official album, but he really shouldn't. 9 should be called 8. Raspberries should be everywhere, but we live in this universe, and that's okay. The good stuff from Buddha gets a better sound on Cheshire Cat, and the half or dozen not so great songs, we never hear them again, so it's not really a problem. Hey! Buddha was the first step in this band becoming one of the biggest bands of all time, and it served its purpose to get Marks, Tom, and Scott at the time where they are today. So good job, Buddha. One big gripe I have with this Buddha album compilation thing is it's a little bit Tom-centric, and I'm glad that the vocals are kind of split down the middle moving forward from the Buddha. I listened to it again for the first time in a long time recently, and it's not too bad. It's just a little, it sounds like a band recording their first album or an early work of a band. It's got some chops, but it's not my thing, and I don't revisit it very often. So Buddha is it's passing, but just barely with a D plus. So it could have been a D minus. So it's a D plus. It's got some fun songs. All right, let's move up, and I think probably going to get some crap moving forward in this list. Number 9 goes to One More Time from 2023. This one suffers, in my opinion, from being overstuffed. Yes, it gives room for a lot of variety. You got Plus 44, which I'm really excited about. Those sounds. Angels and Airwaves, which I'm not excited about, but I'm enjoying more now that I've started reading Tom's books. Angels and Airwaves makes more sense when you read his books. They all kind of tie together, and it makes the music more enjoyable. Boxcar Racer influences on One More Time, and the One More Time Part 2 EP shows that Blink were going for a creative renaissance period, making for some extremely great songs. I love that Travis is singing and writing. All 3 band members are working and getting along together, but maybe they could have held on to some of this stuff for future releases. 19 tracks is a bit much for a Blink-182 record, for a punk rock record. The highlights are, there's some really, really good songs here. The highlights for me are Dance With Me, One More Time, Edging, Bad News, and Other Side, because I'm a Mark. I like Mark vocals better typically. If I could rein this period in, on the greatness of Blink, because this is the second worst, and I like it a lot. I'd pull if I could shorten this album down. I'd put Everyone Everywhere. That's the best song from Part 2. I'd put that with the album, replacing More Than You Know with that song, and then I'd cut some of the extraneous stuff. It sounds like trash talk, but even this low on my list, One More Time, it's got an incredible vibe to it. It's got an original sound and personality, and it's getting a C+. So again, Blink-182 are my 14th favorite band, and they pretty much can do no wrong. I think percentage-wise, in my crazy OCD list of bands, I'm up to 360, I think. Blink-182, I like 97 point something percent of their catalog. I think it's 97.83%. So there's not too much that I don't like from Blink. There's a few songs on this next record that we got to talk about though. Neighborhoods coming in at the 8th best Blink-182 record from 2011. This Is Home is the first Blink-182 song that just isn't moving me or making me laugh or do anything that Blink-182 usually does for me. And that's the problem with Neighborhoods. It should have been a celebration of Tom returning, coming home, but it feels like Mark and Travis just kind of gave up and let him take over the band, and everything's kind of got that weird Angels and Airwaves spacey vibe that I don't like. And to get the Blink-182 magic that is definitely in the mix of Neighborhoods, you have to kind of sit through some dark, dismal, spaceshipy. NASA is in conspiracy with the aliens and stuff. You have to get through a lot about that to reach the really, really good stuff on Neighborhoods. It's missing an emotional connection for me. Up All Night and After Midnight are really good songs. They're really good singles. Love is Dangerous is the highlight on the Tom side of things. But I'm giving Neighborhoods a C+. I look at the track list and think, I'm going to go listen to something better. I think that's kind of the thing with Neighborhoods. You have to listen to the full album, and you're like, oh, that was pretty enjoyable. But when you pick a song out of it, it's just like, a song kind of goes on too long. It's all like self-important and spacey. Gosh, that Angels and Airwaves sound. It is growing on me. I am trying to become an Angels and Airwaves fan, but it's been a long time coming and it hasn't came yet. I know Blink-182 like to talk about coming to places a lot. They're coming back. Anyway, now we are into the microphone is on. This is the 7th best album by Blink-182, and this is 9 from 2019. I used to hate 9. I used to hate every song. I hated the production, the lyrics, the artwork. The artwork's still pretty bad. I hated that I couldn't find the CD in stores on release day. I ran out to Walmart and Best Buy and Target, and nobody had it. And it really made me mad. I hated it when I listened to it on Spotify, and then one day, after a couple of years at least of not listening to it, I needed to listen to something while cleaning the kitchen, and I said, "Hey, Blink-182 are, I think they were my 10th favorite or 9th favorite band at the time," and I said, "Hey, I'm going to try to get them a higher score in my ranking system, and I'm going to put on 9 and see if I can get some enjoyment out of it." And it clicked. I just started liking it. This album does have some of their worst songs ever. I Really Wish I Hated You, Pin the Grenade, and Ransom are all skip-worthy. Overall, it's an emotional, rocking, and smart album, and I would give 9 a B. A B. Not a minus, not a plus, just a B. B. For Blink-182. All right, moving on to the rest. The rest of this list was extremely hard. I got the CDs down here. So moving forward, you might see an actual disc on the screen. The following 6 albums were extremely hard to rank. I don't have a single issue with any song for the rest of the Blink-182 catalog. I enjoy them front to back, but this is ranking Blink-182 worst to best, gosh darn it. and we're going to do that. So coming up is number 6. We got, I think the only one, so we talked about neighborhoods already. So California is coming in at number 6, and I have to use the bathroom really bad. But yeah, California is a perfect Blink-182 record, and like I said, we're into the perfection already. Oh man, I love the packaging in this one. Well, the packaging is okay, not the best album art, but this is a perfect record nonetheless. Like 9, this one took me some time to adjust to the new sound. I thought having Matt Skiba in the band would have them sound a certain way, and when my expectations were not met, they were challenged. It was odd. The Millennial Whoa-Oh-Ohs cranked up to 100 trillion gigawatts. Tree 3. Have you guys ever heard of Tree 3? The Millennial Woes are Tree 3 level of cranked up gigawatts. It's pretty annoying. The army of co-writers and guests on songs, odd. But I got over those hurdles to find a fun, emotionally rocking, kind of heavy album from front to back. And California does fall a little flat in the middle of the track list with Home is Such a Lonely Place Without You, Teenage Satellites, and King of the Weekend. They're listenable, but Teenage Satellites and Weekend, Teenage and Weekend, they seem kind of like filler when you've got 16 tracks and an entire album of B-sides coming right after. We don't need filler in the middle of an album. We don't need throwaway tracks. So California is getting an A- from me. If you disagree, you're not going to disagree. This is going to be the 6th best Blink-182 album with an A-. There's no way anybody would disagree with that. Number 5, man. Number 5. We got the Cheshire Cat. Man, I am nostalgic. Everything, like California, A-. I'm just nostalgic for everything else in the Blink-182 catalog. Cheshire Cat is number 5, and every single song in this album just entertains me. They make me laugh. They make me appreciate the genre of punk rock with its absurdity, combined with great songwriting and songs about old people, diapers, monkey noises. This album changed my life because every time I listen to it, I have to Google Benoit Balls. And somehow, despite very memorable Google searches about Benoit Balls, I always forget what they are. I have to Google Benoit Balls every time I listen to this perfect record. And the song is a story song, and one that has definitely, it needs to be turned into a feature-length film. Screw American Idiot. I need to see Benoit Balls on the big screen. That's right, Benoit Balls in theaters today. I wish Pee Wee Herman was there to watch it with me. On Cheshire Cat, Mark, so there's themes on Cheshire Cat. You got Mark losing at love. Tom is recounting tales of high school struggles. And this cat gets an A. Again, not a minus or a plus, just an A. So it's a little tiny bit better than California. I'm not going to throw that one because those will break, even though those are clearly the superior packaging to Digipacks. I could at least throw a Digipack at my producer over there, and it won't break. That cat would have broke. That's not going to change the score, though. Do we have any more Digipacks? I don't think Blink have any more Digipacks other than the Mark Tom and Travis show live. I'm hot for teacher. And then, Matt Skiba, he went on to write Hot for Preacher. So that's something there. I don't know what that is. We're at the fourth best Blink-182 album. I got it in the pile here. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. This album is called Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. There's nothing dirty about that title at all. You can tell that the record label MCA was telling Mark, Tom, and Travis to make an extraordinarily poppy, rocky album. And while that frustrated the band, it makes this album kind of more authentic and a personal record despite being from that kind of business deal birth. Mark wrote The Rock Show like a smart-ass rebuke of being all poppy and rocky, and it's one of their biggest songs. Bowling for Soup just released their cover of it in time for The Rock Show, the Warped Tour, which is mentioned in the song lyrics, so I'm sure they had that planned back 24 years ago. 24 years ago? Or do I do math good? 24. This album's 24 years old, man. This album kicks off with the best anthem out of the three, part 2, and it soars to new heights for the band after that. Online Songs is one of the best Mark tracks ever, period. And First Date is a great song, made greater by a magical, magical music video. Happy Holidays, You Bastard got me in trouble and at home and at school, because it's just fucking fun to sing and cuss, and most of my socks have holes in the heel anyway to begin with. So Story of a Lonely Guy was my anthem back in the day, the early 2000s, and I hadn't even started dating when this album came out, so it just, I got it. I was lonely because I was alone. I'm too nervous because I'm a stupid, useless, firkin' boy. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut Up is a great Mark song at the tail end of a solid, poppy Blink-182 record that worked on, it worked on what Enema of the State had done and cranked it up to make Mark, Tom, and Travis absolute superstars. What letter grade does Take Off Your Pants and Jacket get? It gets a freaking A. A freaking A. Is there any dirty pictures in this one? There's like a condom. Freaking A. Freaking A. Now we're going on and on, and I just feel hopeless, on and on. What do I have stuck in my head? That's not Blink-182, is it? On and I just feel hopeless. How long will this show been? That's like Sum 41, right? Blink-182 and Sum 41 fans don't cross over at all. We're at the number 3 best Blink-182 album, and I've got it down here in the pile. Dude Ranch. Maybe would have got higher if the back of it was like this. You gotta like turn it sideways, and the sombreros. Dude Ranch. I wanted to give Dude Ranch the number 1 spot. I would have felt so hip and so cool and respected by the punk rock scene. Oh man, just like heaven. The Cure joke. Just like heaven. I love this album front to back. I remember my mom ordering this for me after we got into Enema of the State and Nimrod by Green Day. Dude Ranch further solidified my love of all things punk rock. It's one of those huge pieces in my musical puzzle, my musical life, which is a book I'm writing. Every single note of Dude Ranch is perfect, and yeah, I googled Dude Ranches. I Google that almost as much as Benoit Balls because it sounds dirty, like a dude ranch. What are they doing at the Dude Ranch? Um, if it's not dirty, Blink-182 are going to make it dirty. I bet even the most hip punk rockers like this era of Blink-182, they could have stayed at this level, like this level of songwriting and skill. Um, it's better than the Scrappy Buddha or the Cheshire Cat. They could have made a career for themselves at this level. Mark wouldn't have $80 million in the bank. Tom wouldn't have $70 million. Whoa, should have stayed in Blink, Tom. And Travis wouldn't have $50 million. Travis is actually the richest member of the band, or he would have been the richest member of the band, but he spent $50 million on butt tattoos. Actually, it was just one cheek. $50 million on one butt cheek. Dude Ranch is perfect. Dude. Sometimes I do weird stuff to like know where I'm. It doesn't matter. Dude Ranch is the perfect balance of perviness and loneliness. You know, like climbing up in trees and getting like a lot of stuff like this happen. Oh, a lot of stuff like happening. And again, this is Mark, Tom, and Scott. If I said anything about Travis here, I'm sorry. But they could have stayed. They could have stayed at this level. It's the perfect level of perviness and loneliness. Every song tells Mark or Tom's perspective on love gone wrong. And I'd be interested to hear the other sides of these stories from a female perspective. But all I've got is this stupid CD by Blink-182. A plus right here. Yay, A plus. But I do need Tom to become a woman and write all these songs from the female's perspective. Maybe give him another perspective on putting such a glorious picture on an album cover. I mean, look at this. That if that doesn't turn you on, the enema of the state will. A plus. Now we got two more Blink-182 albums, and this just gets so freaking hard. I'm excited to hear you guys' ranking of these albums. I went back and forth from sixth spot to number one. We only got two more, right? We only got two more albums. Let me go grab number two right now. And I wish she'd be kind now. I didn't mess that up. Tom messed that up. Number two, Enema of the State. This is going to be number three, but now it's number two. I was going to do Dude Ranch, just all the way, Dude Ranch. But this album, gosh, this is where it all started for me. I heard What's My Age Again. I saw the music video, got very turned on, and ran out. Might have been wearing some pants, and bought the album. I bought the edited version. I had to go back and get this dirty version later. I remember opening it up for the first time and seeing all the naked dudes. That's why I bought this CD. Well, dudes in boxers. And all the medical emblems and designs in the booklet, the album cover, the lyrics. Back in '99, it was literally life-changing to hear this. I was transitioning from middle school to high school. I guess this is growing up. And not only did I love every note of this album, my parents liked this album too. Sure, I tried to steer them clear of looking too closely in the booklet. Edited it as it may be, there was still some kind of nasty stuff in the edited one. And one odd thing between me and Enema, I never got the hype for All the Small Things. It's an okay song, I usually like the big hits by bands, but all the small things, it's all right. Maybe because I'm usually on Team Mark more than Team Tom. Um, Mark's songs always click with me a little bit better, and Tom's kind of have to grow on me a little bit. It's a fine enough bop, but it's the worst song on the album for me. That's my hot take. And again, they do the sideways thing. Ugh, ugh. Man, this might have got number one if it hadn't been for the sideways. It's just gross, man. Absolutely gross. And I remember, I think my other copy had something on her hat. I think it had the emblem with a shape of an L on her forehead. The Tom songs are great on here. Aliens, dogs, women, all seemingly giving Tom never-ending grief and pleasure, sometimes simultaneously. Mark is having lady problems himself as girls dump him in all manners of dumpage. We got women slamming doors on his ass. We got women going away to college. We've got women, college that is not in proximity to Mark Hop ass. We got girls walking away as he watches TV. Even at a wild party, Mark is getting turned down. The dude was living his love life like the world was about to end in 2000 or something. Windy Clear is a true sad story about his unrequited love for someone he worked with at the label, and I've sung that song about more than my fair share of coworkers, let me tell you. And there's that little line in What's My Age Again, like, I think it actually is saying, please stay with me. But I always sing, please stay windy. And it's kind of debated over on the Reddit. I don't do the Reddit too often, but is it please stay with me or windy? Comment that. And also, where's my agent friend? Not my agent, my Asian friend. My agent friend. I will die on that hill. But this album, what do we got? An A++. Because they bring the bonus. They get bonus points for this. They get bonus points for this lady. She helped them out with their school project, and oh my, check this dude out. I thought that guy was a member of Blink-182 back then. All right, we've only got one more Blink-182 album to go. Green Day, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. We got Blink-182. It's actually called Blink-182 on Spotify and everywhere. So if you think it's called Untitled or Self-Titled or No Titled or you're wrong. Screw you. Feeling This feels like Windy Clear shot up junk and became an epic adrenaline-fueled rager and evolved somehow. It's an epic rocker to kick things off. Feeling This is a single that teased a new, massive, fresh sound from the band. And gosh, poop it, Blink-182, the album, it delivered. It still delivers to this day, 22 years later. It's experimental, but not in the boring and stupid and lame way, like Angels and Airwaves. It's an album that doesn't have 20 songs, but covers a lot of musical ground. And this album just throws you in the deep end with mind-boggling shifts in sound for the band, just like on the second track, Obvious. What can be better than an A++ from Enema of the State? We're gonna get there. We're gonna get you there. It's gonna be a real funny Blink-182 reference. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be great. In fact, we're getting back on track though. Almost none of this record sounds like old Blink-182. Go and Here's a Letter kind of tap into that more classic Blink-182 territory, but even those are brave and audacious. I Miss You goes more ballady than Adam's song ever dared. My mom liked it. I liked it. Even my dad, who doesn't like slow songs, liked it because of the yed. The yed was funny. And now we will never let Tom hear the end of how he said head, yed. Mark and Tom are cross-cutting through their vocals, cross-cutting over each other's vocals on most tracks, and all without missing a beat. Blink-182, the album, is so good I'll even forgive an interlude on here, which is unprecedented on this channel. That doesn't happen too often. This album, in Bad Religion's Empire Strikes First, are the only albums that I will give a pass to for having intros or interludes. This album has a good interlude. And Mark, Tom, and Travis, they get their hero to sing on all of this, which is extra credit points for the band. This is Blink's longest album to date, even though One More Time has like 1,000 parts and 1,000 songs. This one is longer, but it feels the shortest. It feels like their shortest album, even though it's the longest, because it soaks you into the vibes with the extra credit in the songs about parenthood and loss and sex and guitars and drums. And it's simply the best work you could possibly turn in to your sexy teacher. It's got really great color schemes in the album itself. The packaging is immaculate. The CD smells like a CD. You got James McCrone working on this thing. And you know what score this thing gets? It gets a A+ 44.
Every song ever, but Queen Day rules. Alive and true, some 41 is using your pool. Na millennial, whoa, whoa, poop is funny. Sit on the Easter bunny. Mumbles ain't close, but she's the closest that got hot. Let her X where I go, no trespassing or tripping, no entry. I'm singing along to every song ever, always been crazy, but feel like I'm clever. Chili won't let me just a flight away, come save me. Chili won't let me, says the slur for gay. And I'm just listening to flush you man. Flush you man. Every song ever, even when they are bad. I wrote Candy Paper Mark and it couldn't win her heart. Sad. Every song ever. There's a lot of bad songs in this world. Is that your opinion of it all from the chick girls? Oh, somebody call 1-800-Chili-Bowl-Leg Week. If you call 1-800, the song is over. Chili-Bowl-Leg Week, just a flight away, come save me. Chili-Bowl-Leg Week, says the slur for gay. And I'm just listening to flush you man. Flush you man. Every song ever, even when they are bad. I wrote Candy Paper Mark and it couldn't win her heart sad. Every song ever, there's a lot of bad songs in this world. Is that your opinion of Earl from the Chick Girls?
Oh, somebody call 1-800-Chili-Bowl-Leg Week. If you call 1-800, this song is over.